VCR TV, channel of God's love. A warm welcome to all our viewers on this episode of Gõyche Tarvotti. This Gõyche Tarvotti special series highlights the life, works and day-to-day challenges of the Goan seafarers whose hard work and sacrifices sometimes go unrecognized. Their contribution to the Goan economy cannot be overlooked. गोंयचे उदरगतीक आणि आर्थीक बोळाक गोंयच्या तारवट्यांनी आपलो हातभार लायला. आयज आमचे मदें आसा आमचो गोंयचो तारवटी भाव सुरेंद्र नायक, जो एक ज्युनियर मरीन इंजिनियर म्हूण तारवार चडलोलो आनी कांय वर्सां उपरांत तो चीफ इंजिनियराचे जुटयेर पावलो. We welcome to our studios today Chief Engineer Surendra Naik. Welcome, sir, to this chat show.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And I think you have been doing a great job by publishing this on the channel. I mean, about the marine engineers and Gõyche Tarvotti. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. आमची एकूच इच्छा आसली की जे त्याग आमचे तारवटी भाव कोत्तात गोंयचे तारवटी तारवार वचून आनी जे तांणी आमचे गोंयची उदरगतीक हात लायला तांचे जिविताचेर थोडो उजवाड घालूंक. And there was no other better way than to invite them in our studios and talk to them. So that is the thing. Zalyar Surendra Bab, can you tell us what motivated you to pursue a career as a seafarer? And what is the best thing that you enjoy about this profession?
Well, actually, just a brief, I'm going back to the history
yes, certainly.
Yeah. So, I am born and brought up in a small village called Poira. I don't know if you know. It's about 7 kilometers from Bicholim. Poira, yes. And it is very close to that Shirgaon. You must be knowing that Shirgaon Jatra. Yeah. So, that is also very close. So, basically, we had a small shipyard there, and some students used to come there for training in the shipyard. So I used to see them, and that time we were in school. So I used to watch them, and then I followed them. These people, they did shipbuilding engineering, and then they went on ship as a marine engineer. So I was following them, and then it became my dream, that I want to do this like that. And frankly speaking, nobody in my entire family, nobody is Tarvotti. I am the first one.
First generation Tarvotti.
Yes, I am the first one. In fact, I am the first one to leave Goa and leave India. Everybody was well settled in Goa only.
I see.
Yeah. So this is how I got motivated, basically.
So first of all, there was nobody in your family who was working abroad, and not even on the ship anybody.
Nobody.
You're the first person to venture out of Goa.
That's right.
From your village in Bicholim,
yes,
as you said.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes.
Fantastic. जाल्यार अशें जाल्ल्या नंतर तुमचो घरचो कोणूच नासलो भायल्या देशांत ना म्हूण तारवार. तूं पयलोच तुमच्या घराब्यांतलो वो तुमच्या कुटुंबांतलो पयलोच तारवटी असं तुमी आतांच सांगलां.
सारकें.
जाल्यार तुमच्या वडिलांनी म्हणूया तुमच्या आवय बापायनी तुमच्या वडिलांनी घरच्यांनी तुमकां तारवटी जावपाक परवानगी दिली, कारण तो कल्चरूच नासलो न्ही तुमच्या कुटुंबांत.
होय, सारकें. Actually, going back to my family, my father, he was working in Chogule as a jeep driver.
Okay.
So he was a driver, and we are 4 siblings, 2 sisters and 2 brothers. So I am the third one. 2 sisters first, third one me and my brother, younger brother. So basically, we had a free hand to choose any profession, because they being not literate that much, so they didn't have control on what kind of education we want to do or pursue our career. So we were free to take our decision on the career part of it. So I told them I want to do this, and then they just agreed, and they supported me a lot.
Do this म्हणल्यार तुमी आतां once you passed your school level 11-12 तेन्ना मागीर तुमी फुडलें शिकप करतना engineering fieldan गेले, marine engineeringan गेले.
Yes, I did my 11-12 science in Bicholim only, Shri Shantadurga Higher Secondary School, And then I did my shipbuilding, which is 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and later on, some of my professors, they helped me, like, to know more about the shipping. Especially, I would name Professor Dayal and Khare. Professor Khare.
You
Professor
mean Ruchin
Khare
Dayal?
is no, Ruchin Dayal's father.
Father, okay.
Yeah. And Professor Khare, he is now no more. I mean, he was very close to me. So 2014, he passed away.
I see.
Now almost 10 years.
So you were firm in your decision, you were firm in your mind the kind of career you are going to choose, and that is why you went into this course. Am I right?
That's correct. Yeah.
जाल्यार तुमची यात्रा एक तारवोटी म्हणून, when did it begin and how long did it take you to reach to that level of chief engineer on board the ship? Tell us briefly, so that our viewers also know what are the steps normally involved in this career.
That's correct. Okay.
How
so
challenging it was for you.
So basically, I'll take you back after my completion of my shipbuilding. So after I passed out in somewhere in 1995, and it was a bit difficult to get job on board ship.
I see.
So what happened was I just took up a job in Goa shipyard under some contractor, and I was working there till I had applied for my passport also. So till then I was working with that contractor, and I was hardly getting around 1800 rupees a month, which was hardly anything. So, and in the meantime my passport got ready, and then I went to Mumbai for, like, as everybody goes to Mumbai. Mumbai is a city of luck. Or
City
whatever.
of dreams.
City of dreams, yeah. So I also went to Mumbai, and I stayed. I didn't have much, my pockets were not that. So I stayed in the club, Bicholim Club.
Okay.
One of the uncle, he helped me a lot to get. Basically, I was not a member, but he made me a member of that club, and then that is how I was staying in that club, which was in Mazgaon.
Okay.
Yeah, and I tried a lot. Like, every day morning I used to go visit offices, give my CV. And luckily, my Professor Dayal, he also gave me some recommendation letters, 5 or 6. I went with them, but everybody was saying, you come after 15 days, you come after 10 days. I used to write in my diary, okay, now I have to go there. But again, same answers. I tried for about 1 month like that. So then I got fed up. In the meantime, I was selected in Western India also, which I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
And I told them that I want 1 month notice, because I was already working in that company, contractor. So, but I had left that job, but I didn't tell them. So,
Okay.
so I just bought that time.
And I think that dry dock had just started, no? WSA.
Yes.
Just started.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So, it was like, that job was there, but I wanted to do this. I wanted to go on board and work.
On board the ship.
So, so then I tried. I had given some interviews and all. Then nothing was happening.
It was not so easy then in your case at that time.
In fact, I would say,
you had your own little struggles.
Yes.
Am I right?
Correct. And I didn't wanted to burden my family also, because I knew my parents' financial status. I didn't wanted to be a burden on them for too many months.
Okay.
So I just tried for 1 month, and then I came back. And it was my luck that one of the company called me that can you come to Mumbai? In fact, I reached today, and about next day I got a call. So again, same day, night, I went by the bus.
I see.
And reached Mumbai.
Yeah.
So I went to the office, and why I'm telling you this, because it's the faith which is there. I really believe in that faith.
Okay.
So I'll just tell you very fast, what happened.
Definitely.
So I went to that office, and then he asked me, do you have any CDC? We need a CDC to go on board.
Correct.
So I said, no, I don't have anything. So he said, no, you should have one, CDC. Any CDC will do. I said, okay, no problem, fine. That time we used to get this Liberian CDC, which was costing about 6,000.
I see.
I knew that, because, then I thought, let me see what Panama is costing.
Okay.
So, all the way from Nariman Point, I went to that Regal Theatre, this side, I forgot the name, near that church, Gateway of India, there. So it was a walking distance, and it was noon time. And it was, I was all sweat. I was full of sweat. And I went to that consulate, Panama consulate. And I was full of sweat. My shirt was wet. And then I went inside. It was almost around 1:15 like that. So I went inside, and it was AC, So I thought a little bit, I felt nice. But then that security, like, he said, now everybody has gone for lunch, you come after 2:30. I said, can I sit for some time because I'm all wet? No, you cannot sit here, you have to go out. I said, I literally, like, I felt very bad actually, like, he treated me like that. So what I did was, I came out from that office, I went on the landing and there was a window. So I was just taking some fresh air. And I saw on the top floor, this was on first floor.
Yeah.
So landing, staircase, landing and staircase and then second floor. I saw Ugland Maritime, what is this? Like, let me try that. So I went there inside.
Okay.
And they were there, receptionist. And luckily she was like, born and brought up in Goa, that lady.
Okay.
So I asked her, like, is there any vacancy for junior engineers? She said, yes. So she took me inside. She took my CV, everything, all my passports, and I was wondering what is happening, like,
I see.
So I said, so then she said, she took me to the boss, who was Captain Amit Kannumala. So he saw then he said, your seniors are already working with us and all that. So then he told her, like, you can put him on MT Alexita. That was the name of the ship.
Okay.
And I'm wondering what is happening, like, So then I asked her, what is it? Oh, you didn't hear? The boss has already given you the ship also.
My God.
I said, okay, then I was all, so happy, like, now I should say thanks to that security who
drove me out and not to give you a thing to sit inside.
And after that, like, here, like, I went on board, I sailed as a junior engineer and then I did my exams. I became chief engineer in 10 years time. It took me about 10 years to become a chief engineer.
So it was quite a tough thing.
Yes, initially, yes, of course.
For progression.
And after that, now since I knew this company is taking, so I told many of my friends also. So they also joined. So, it was little bit in the plateau for them, of course. Like.
So, but as you have narrated this incident about you going to, to Mumbai, Nariman Point and getting yourself in the offices, you know, it's a matter of faith, as you said.
Yes.
And if Lady Luck is with you, I think you can open up any door.
Correct.
This is how it happened in your case. And that's why this incident is very firm in your mind. Am I right?
Yes. And I always tell this incident because, sometimes you should just believe in your faith.
And don't give up.
Don't give up, yes. In fact, I had given up, but, somewhere, like, God told me, no, if you want to do this, let me help you, like that. So I believe in God, I believe in faith. So
good. That's a very good personal life experience you have narrated, Suren, because things are like that sometimes. You never know where your next step may lead you to, no?
That's correct.
This is what exactly happened in your case.
Yes.
Right? So coming back to your service on board the ship as chief engineer, how many types of vessels have you sailed and what were your vessels? Were they crude oil carriers, were they general cargo vessels, so what were they? Bulk carriers?
It was all VLCC.
All VLCC?
Yes.
I see. Right from the beginning?
Right from beginning it was all VLCC, and after that I went on these product tankers, which is like, which carry this petroleum products and all that.
Okay.
But those were little bit, smaller ships, about 75,000 deadweight. VLCCs are all 300,000 plus, yes. Deadweight, yes.
Correct. And they are always out in the
And I sailed only on tankers actually, frankly.
I see. So how was this experience sailing on the tankers at the level of a chief engineer?
Yes, we had a lot of, sometimes challenging things happening on board, breakdowns and all that, like, but luckily, like, I had always a good team with me, like, so we could get through anything and everything like that. Yeah. So once you have a good team on board, life becomes very easy on board. Otherwise, it is very difficult.
Yeah, because finally, at the end of the day, I think it's all a teamwork, no?
Yes.
And how you carry your team forward with you.
Correct.
But as a chief engineer, I just wanted to ask you, is it mandatory for the vessels that are sailing, and you said you have worked always on a VLCC, which are huge carriers, as you said, 3 lakhs plus DWT and other thing. So, is it necessary and mandatory to conduct periodic safety drills?
Yes,
Or is it only when the inspections come?
No. Basically, we have this every week.
Every week
have drills. Yes. Because this is making us ready for
any kind of
emergency, like so everybody knows their lifeboat. So last moment they don't see, like they don't run around,
Correct.
And everybody knows their duty.
Okay.
So if something like we conduct different drills, like oil pollution drill, fire drill, then man overboard drill. So all these things, and abandon ship drill, where you have to go to your lifeboat. So basically everybody knows their duty and everybody knows what to do in emergency. So you don't have to.
So every week the drill is
Yes,
conducted.
yes. Every week it is
It
conducted.
is a very mandatory.
Yes, yes, yes.
Surendra Bob, we would also like to know, as the chief engineer, how would you delegate your task and responsibilities to the officers below the rank?
Yes, I mean basically, like, I always motivate them. I mean, all the juniors, so that, like, if my third engineer is there, like, I want him to do his job, and then I will try to delegate him second engineer's job also, so that, he learns before his promotion. He is ready. He's totally ready, like, so this way, like, I keep. And sometimes, like, my job also, I tell second engineer to do it, because tomorrow if he wants to become a chief engineer, like, I will just sit. Basically chief engineer, like, mostly all paperwork, whatever, noon reports and all that. So, and of course you are in charge of the maintenance.
Overall
but, overall in charge. But like, if you have a good team, maybe you don't have to dirty your hand. If you're like, if you don't have experienced crew, then of course you have to go there, because final responsibility is chief engineer for any maintenance part on board, whether it is in engine room or deck, everything. So that is it, like.
Now, considering that the crew and officers on any sea-going vessel are multinationals, people coming from different countries, how do you handle any kind of, say, difference of opinion among the staff themselves, say a difference of opinion and disagreement among the colleagues? How do you, as a head of the department, as a chief engineer, how do you sort out and resolve these issues? Because coming from different countries, different nations, they may have a different mindset, different approach towards the other nationality person. He may be working in the team. How have you handled this situation?
Yeah, I mean, see, in fact, like, my first ship was all Swedish.
Okay.
Yeah, and officers were Swedish, and then crew were Filipino. I think we were only about 3 of us Indians over there. So right from first, like, first ship, like, maybe I was trained to be, like, get mixed with them and all that, like. So I mean, and yes, of course they have their different culture, like, I remember one incident, like, my first engineer told me some job. I was in the engine room, and, like, we mostly Indians, like, once he tells us something, how we say yes is like this, like this. Okay, so so he was getting mad at me. He's saying, like, why you are saying no? I'm telling you some job, and why and he's shouting. I said yes, he's again shouting. Then he took me in the control room. Then he asked me, I am giving you one job, and why you are refusing, like, I said, sir, I said yes. This is not yes, this is yes, So it was like that. Okay. I mean, now
confusion.
Now it is always like this.
Okay.
So I mean, this is a small thing, but
I know
these things, like, make you hardcore, like, I mean, over a period of time, and you tend to understand their what they want and what we want, like, somewhere you have to be, like, merge yourself and then be
part of it.
Be part of it. And I'm not saying like, you have to I mean, agree to everything, whatever. And especially nowadays juniors, like, we have different, mostly East European is there, I mean, and Filipinos are also there, Chinese is there, so all these nationalities are there. But somehow, like, I think once they come on board, they become sober, or I don't know, because yes, I didn't get anybody who, like, who is a troublemaker basically. But yes, of course, you have to handle them well.
So तुम्ही तुमका लकी म्हणपाचे न्ही?
होय, actually lucky. I have been lucky actually.
Yeah. जाल्यार आमकां एक सांगात सुरेंद्र भाऊ, केन्ना तरी तुमकां तुमच्या कामांत कसलो तरी असो एक गंभीर प्रसंग उपजला तुमची वयत चालू आसतना?
हय, जाल्लें एकदां. एक्चुली आमी एकदां हांगा आसले, नॉर्वे, मॉन्गस्टाडाक आसले, आनी आमी थंय लोडिंग करपाक म्हणून आसले, आनी आमी बलास्ट कंडिशनान आसले.
ओके.
सो कितें जालें की वी वर वेटिंग, आमी कार्गोक लागून रावले, आनी मागीर कितें जालें की कॅप्टन फिलिपिनो आसलो आनी हांव चीफ इंजिनियर आसलो. सो एक्चुली एजंटान एक मॅसेज घातलेली की यू हॅव टू गो आउट बिकॉज ऑफ द स्टॉर्म कमिंग, some this thing, and wind force was supposed to be around 50 like that. So मागीर कितें जालें की Actually त्यांना कितें जातालें की बिकॉज ऑफ द इंटरनेट एंड ऑल ना दे यूज टू नॉट ओपन द मेल फ्रिक्वेंटली.
ओके.
सो हेणीन ती मेल पळोवंक ना एजंटान घातलेली आनी एजंटान कॉलूय करूंक ना. सो ही वॉज नॉट अवेअर ऑफ इट. आनी मागीर एकदमूच वेदर सारको रफ जालो. मागीर आमी इंजीन चालू करता, इंजीन चालू जाता आनी कितें जातालें सबन शीप रोल जाताली, वयर सकयल अशी येताली, प्रोपेलर भायर येतालो आनी आमी वयता आनी मागीर ओवर स्पीड जातालो. सो वॉट हॅपन्स वन्स द प्रोपेलर कम्स इन द एअर मिडियम ना,
करेक्ट,
the engine will overspeed, no, because there is no resistance,
right,
like
of the water. Yeah.
so it is engine is to trip on overspeed. आणि तशेंच कितले ऑलमोस्ट अराउंड आनी सारकी शीप अशी रोलिंग जाता, देर वॉज नो मुवमेंट. सगळे शिपाचे एक्चुअली 6 मुवमेंट्स असता न्हू, 6 मुवमेंट्स आर देर ऑफ द शिप.
Okay.
ऑल द एक्सिस it can just so it was like this. Some juniors and all, they are puking and all that, and I was in the control room holding that railing on the console and like this, and I took the control down below, and I think full night, like I was doing the same thing. We were just, and somehow, like and captain had lost the hopes. He was just sitting and not doing anything. In fact, chief officer took over the steering, so he had the steering control and I had the engine control. So I used to start the engine, trip, again reset, start, trip, again reset, start, like that. So this way, like we
Something
could, yeah, so we could, because of the engine power, we could hold it. But the ship was just, it was just drifting towards the land, towards the shallow water. And then suddenly something happened, like God, like, and then suddenly the direction of the wind changed, and then it started taking us out at sea.
Okay.
So
जी ड्रिफ्ट जाताली ती
ड्रिफ्ट
towards
जाताली.
shallow waters,
हय.
came to
So,
the back mainstream.
Correct. I think आमकां मातशे 1-2 मायल असले आमी ग्राउंड जावपाक.
इतले न्ही.
हय हय. आनी हे सपोज जर जाल्ले जाल्यार इट वूड हॅव बीन अ बीग इन्सिडंट इन माय करियर. So after that, of course, company they asked lot of R&Ds were going on. But मागीर कितें जालें, then it was sorted out. But I think they sacked the captain because actually I don't think it was his mistake, but somebody has to be a scapegoat. It's like that.
So असले प्रसंग तुमचेर आयल्या,
आसा,
तुम्ही फेस केल्या ते.
हय 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 अशें जालां. This was the, in fact, like this was the only, I mean, very bad. Other things, yes, of course. I mean, it is a part of our life. You get disrupted.
Part of your duty also.
Yeah, out at sometimes breakdown happen, and then the ship is rolling out at sea. You have to work. Sometimes you have to do the main engine unit with the ship rolling, and also all these things we have done. So,
yeah, but then at that moment you have to use all your presence of mind and your courage and everything.
That time the experience, yes,
experience
and you should have a good peace of mind there. Like you cannot get panic, because if you get panic, then I think your whole team gets panic.
Exactly. ही एक तुमची हो एक प्रसंग जालो जो तुमचो आयज पासून तुमकां याद आसा. जाल्यार आतां समज सडनली तुमची वेसल डीप हाय सी आसतना एक ब्लॅकआउट जालो and a kind of emergency situation has arisen on the ship, total blackout for whatever reason, then you will investigate and put it right. जाल्यार असल्या सिट्युएशनान पावर रिस्टोर करी मेरेन सिट्युएशन कशें हँडल जाता तुमचे कडसून एज अ चीफ इंजिनियर?
हय, अगेन सेम. एक्चुअली सी बेसिकली कितें आसता शिपाचेर न्हू, जेन्ना मेन जनरेटर ट्रीप जाता न्हू, ब्लॅकआउट जाता जाल्यार इमर्जन्सी जनरेटर चालू जाता, विच विल गिव यू मिनिमम लायट. जसो आमचो इन्वर्टर आसता पळय तसो. सो विच विल गिव यू इमर्जन्सी, म्हणजे एक स्टेरिंगूय तेजेर आसता, सगळें आसता, बट मेन इंजिन यू कॅनॉट स्टार्ट.
मेन इंजिन
यू कॅनॉट स्टार्ट.
मागीर कशें तुमी मॅनेज करता?
हय, मागीर आमी एक अशें सगळें पळोवपाचें. आनी पयलीं तर एक तर आमकां पयलीं पळोवचें पडटलें की वेदर वी कॅन स्टार्ट द अदर जनरेटर, कित्याक 3 जनरेटर्स आसता. सो एक ते चालू जाता जाल्यार तो चालू करून सपोज जालें, इफ यू कॅन रिवायव देन व्हेरी गुड. अदरवायज वी हॅव टू कीप चेजिंग द फॉल्ट. इफ इट इज अ कॉमन फॉल्ट फॉर ऑल 3 जनरेटर्स, देन it is a very time consuming job. So
okay, now let's say from the time that you joined in the late 90s, early
96, yes,
and in the second half of 90s, and now what are the technical advancements that have come in shipping, and mostly, so that the challenges before the shipping officers and the crews is much more easy to handle, and it is assisting them for smooth voyage.
Basically it's now a lot of electronics have taken over the mechanical parts.
Okay.
So before it was all mechanical, like so now I mean the engines are only ME engines, they are called, like electronic engines. So
okay,
so all the parts yes, of course, mechanical parts are there, but it is all electronically controlled. Uh, the ignition part, all this exhaust valves are there. So all these are electronically controlled. So yes, there are challenges now also, but I feel life is little bit easy
Than what
before.
it was
Yes,
then.
yes, yeah, because electronics and all, like, it might see, it's basically like you need to change some cards, like. So basically, any card gets faulty, you have to just change the
Change
card,
the
and
card.
we have the standby
System is
card.
back in place.
Yes, yes. It is little bit easier, I would say, than before.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, I would prefer to work on those engines.
I see.
If I am given a chance.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
And why should that
Because see, now of course I am now trained in that basically, like youngsters, of course, now they are trained to handle these electronics and
More
all.
towards
I may not,
electronics, yeah.
because I left sailing somewhere in 2014.
Okay.
So after that, I became technical superintendent, and as a technical superintendent, I was handling the vessel from the office.
Okay.
So
Fine.
yeah, and the support which is to we are giving the support basically,
Correct,
the short
correct.
support to
Yes.
the ship staff.
To the ship staff.
Ship staff, yes. So yes, I mean, looking at it, like I feel like those engines are better to work as a chief engineer.
Okay.
Yeah.
आमकां एक सांगात ह्या मुखार तुमी तुमच्याच समजा भुरग्यांक वा तुमच्या कुटुंबांतल्या एक्सटेंडेड फॅमिलीयांतल्या तरणाट्यांक एक सी फेरर्स जावपाक प्रोत्साहन दितलेत. यू विल एनकरेज यंगस्टर्स टू टेक अप
Yes, actually.
a career on the ship.
Hoy. See, this is actually, at least like for me, whatever I am today, it is all because of shipping. If shipping was not there, I don't know what I would have been. Of course, I would have been something, but I don't know. Maybe I would have not been the way I am now. Regarding the financial thing, yes, shipping, like shipping gives you, apart from this challenges what you face now, it gives you good amount of money also,
Okay.
salary. So
This thing, stability is there, economic stability,
yes,
compared
yes.
to another
Yeah.
job, like.
Yes, correct. But only thing is, like you have to be emotionally very strong.
Okay.
So because
Tell us something about this, how the mindset has to be.
yeah, basically, like, yes, couple of times, like when my wife was not well and all, like I had to be on board, she had to be operated, and I was feeling very bad actually on ship, because I couldn't come and support her. So these things are there, like okay, for me, touch wood, like nothing bad happened apart from this. Some people, they have a very bad time because some, their parent or one of a parent passed away, and all these things are happening when they are on board, and they cannot do anything. When you are out at sea, like nobody can help you basically. If you are in port, yes, of course, company will try to relieve you in port. But if you are out at sea, there is no
It's not
way.
so easy.
Not so easy. Yes, you cannot do anything. So you have to just
Complete your contract and then only come.
No, I mean maybe next port.
Next
if
port.
you go, then company will
Send a
arrange your
replacement.
relief. Yeah. And what happens? No, every ship, like they have a minimum safe manning. So like for example, like captain has to be there, chief engineer has to be there. So that way there are safe manning. So this rank, ship cannot sail without them.
Yes.
So it's like that. So
It's mandatory to have them on board.
yes, that is what is called minimum safe manning
safe
on board.
manning.
So problem happen like this, like if they don't get some reliever and all, then he gets stuck on board.
Correct.
So it's like that. So but people in emergency, of course, like suppose if I am ashore and if somebody tells me, like खंय तरी कोणाचो कोण बापूय मेलो आवय मेल्या तुका मातसो वसूंक मेळटलें, yes, I will go. That way people are helping, like the fellow seafarers are helping.
Yeah.
So that way joining in
You are
emergency.
called in emergency
Yes,
situations.
yes.
Right.
But yes, of course, like you have to be emotionally and very, very strong. You have to prepare for everything like this. The worst scenario like this, when you are, because it is not that like you are in some country where you can just catch the flight and come. It is not like that. On
Not
board,
so easy.
On board it is very difficult. Until and unless you are not in the vicinity of the port, nobody can help you.
It is so difficult.
Yes. You cannot come.
Tell me something. What is one thing, like in general, okay, a seafarer when he is sailing on a voyage, a long voyage, or has just started the voyage, what is that he wished he could have access to during his time of sailing?
Yes, of course. Like we also feel like when we are on board, like
Yeah.
we had this 3 months, 4 months contract as a chief engineer. I mean, I was working with Bergeson worldwide. We had around 3 months, so 3 ± 1. So in those, like nothing is there, like and especially after this 9/11, the shore leave, everything is cancelled because of the
Yeah.
security reasons.
Okay.
So yes, of course, you feel like being with your family. I like driving. I like to drive. I like to go places. So all these things, of course, you miss. To be with your family, your kids. Your kids are growing up. That also you want to see, like. So I mean, all these things. Yes, of
This
course,
you
you
are
are missing
missing.
this. Yes, yeah. Sometimes you are missing this.
And you wish you had access to all this thing, part of life.
Yes.
हे मेवना.
ते मेळना न्हू हय कित्याक आतां एकदां बोटीर गेलो की थंयच उरता आनी मागीर आतां एज आय सेड की शोर लिव्हूय मेळना थोडे कडेन मेळटा पूण नॉट एवरी पोर्ट allow seafarers to get down because of their own security reasons. So
Okay.
few ports are allowing. So wherever we get chance we go. I mean it's like a grounding for us. So
आता एक सांग तुमच्या सारकी इतली उंच जुट्टी आसली म्हणटच जबाबदारीची तुमचे मुखार मोठें आव्हान कितें आसता तुमच्या एंटायर कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट पिरियडीक with respect to your duty and your responsibilities? What is the biggest challenge that you have on hand? It is not for a day or two, it has to be completed till you finish your contract and sign off.
Yeah, basically कितें आसता we have this plan maintenance system on board, like की आतां कितें आसता सपोज समटायम्स कितें तरी ब्रेकडावन जालें आनी मागीर कितें जाता मागीर सपोज ब्रेकडावन जालें जाल्यार मागीर ते कशें सारकें करपाचें कितें मशिनरी कशी सारकी करपाची आनी फायनल थिंग इज लायक द शीप हॅज टू मूव बिकॉज इट इज लायक शिपाचें कशें कितें आसा पळय शीप इज लायक देर टू कॅरी द कार्गो इन कार्गो आउट ओनर्स अर्न दी मनी ओनर्साक पयशे मेळ्ळे आमकां टायमार मेळटली सॅलरी सो दीस इज वॉट इट इज लायक सो देर शूड नॉट बी एनी ब्रेकडावन बिकॉज एवरी ब्रेकडावन काउंट्स कित्याक आतां मागीर that much of stoppages and all the charters are may deduct the money from the charter. So it's like that. So your this thing vision is like there should not be any breakdowns. So for that we have this PMS. We have to follow that PMS, plan maintenance system. So कसली machinery जाल्यार तेजे maintenance करपाचें before it breaks. It is not that condition based. It is a plan maintenance. So हे केले की then there are like see 10% chances are there like even if you do the plan maintenance the machinery might break down.
Machine after all.
Yes. So you have to be again prepared for that also like those unplanned tasks. So yes, I mean you have to be like focus on that like and anything when you are taking a round in the engine room like you can get your eyes, nose and ear हे तीनूय सारखे ओपन आसपाक जाय.
Okay.
कित्याक हे जेन्ना तुजे तीनूय सारके आसा न्हू जाल्यार तुका खुबशें कितें कळटा इंजन रुमान कितें जावपाचें आसा कित्याक आवाजाचेर सुद्दां तुका कळटा कसलो मोटराचें सपोज बॅरिंगाचें वचपाचें आसा जाल्यार तुका आवाजाचेर पयलीं कळटा अशें न्हू की मशिनरी एकदमच इट्स लायक अ ह्युमन ऑल्सो आमी मातशें सीक पडटा आनी मागीर अशें न्हू सो तशें मशिनरी ऑलवेज गिव यू द इंडिकेशन.
You can identify the signs.
Yes, you have to identify that in a much earlier stage. Because आता फॉर एग्जाम्पल आय सेड मोटराचें सपोज बॅरिंग गेलें आनी तुवें सपोज तें पळोवंक ना जाल्यार कितें जातलें नेक्स्ट इज बॅरिंग वचून तेजें वायंडींग वयतलें आतां कितें आतां बॅरिंग इट इज अंडर अवर दिस थिंग बॅरिंग वी कॅन चेंज बट एकदां तेजें वायंडींग गेलें जाल्यार वी कॅनॉट डू एनीथींग ऑन बोर्ड दॅट मोटर इज लायक useless for us.
Yes.
It is like that. So this kind of things you have to be very very especially I will like pass this message to juniors like you have to keep your eyes, ears and nose open. Even the smell you can
Correct.
smell something
Burning.
is leaking, burning.
Yes.
All these things. So all this nose and ears it plays a
So these senses also play a vital role.
Yes, and we should have a very good sense. I mean all this especially marine engineers like and it helps a lot in your profession basically.
आमकां एक सांगात आमचे गोंयचे जायतेच तारवटी आसात ऑन कार्गो शिप्स ऑन क्रूड टँकर्स आनी तुजे क्रूज लायनर्स जे एक आनी दोन हजारांनी आसतात आमचे भुरगे वेगळे वेगळे पोजिशनाचेर जाल्यार आंतरराष्ट्रीय मळार गोंयच्या तारवट्यांक कशे तरेन असो लेखतात वे डू दे स्टँड इन द इंटरनॅशनल मॅरिटायम.
येस एक्चुअली पळय इनिशियली सगळे आमचे गोंयकार म्हणजे पयलीं गोंयकार भाव सगळे पयलीं एक्चुअली कॅटरिंगान वयताले
करेक्ट.
सो तुम्ही ते ऐकलं असतली एक म्हण आसा न्हू एक इट्स अ स्मॉल जोक
सांगा तुम्ही
एक जोक आसा
तुमचे कडसून ऐकूया.
बेसिकली कितें जाता की एकटो कॅप्टन जाता आनी तो वयता बोटीर वयता कॅप्टन जाता आनी तो आपल्या फादर इन लॉ कडेन वयता. सो तो ताका सांगता की डॅडी दादा वॉट एवर सो हांव कॅप्टन जालो म्हणून सांगता ताका. तें सगळें बरें आसा तूं चीफ स्टीवर्ड केन्ना जातलो तें सांग. सो बेसिकली इट इज लायक जोक ऑन गोवन्स.
एक्झॅक्टली.
सो कित्याक पयलीं सगळे जाण असले ते सगळे कॅटरिंग डिपार्टमेंटान वचून चीफ स्टीवर्ड जाताले आनी दॅट वॉज द हायस्ट पॉयंट
टॉप लेवल इन दॅट
बिकॉज दीस इंजिनियर्स डेक सायड एंड ऑल नोबडी यूज टू गो. And this was the thing, like Goans are known for very good cooks, like
Okay.
Goan cooks म्हणजे एकदम everybody is happy. Everybody is happy. Yes,
Okay.
yes. So yes, now I think last 20-25 years people are going on deck side, engine side. They are becoming master mariner.
Correct.
They are becoming chief engineers. So there are a lot of in fact we have our chief engineers group. Where we have almost around 300 plus,
big number.
Big number, yes. In fact, there are many who has not joined the group. But
so these are the so to say new generation sailors.
Yes.
They have changed the way
yes.
Goans look at sailing.
Correct. Yes. Because initially it was all from outsider, like I mean, mostly all the marine engineers who are at a very good post in Goa, they were all from outsiders, not from Goa. But now we have Goan master mariner, chief engineers, all the ranks we have Goans now.
So this is a very good sign.
Yes,
things are changing.
Yes, things are changing. Yes, correct.
Surendra, since you have handled a high profile job, a stressful job, how do you would spend your off duty hours on board the ship? What would you actually do as compared to what you would have done if you were on land? So what are your openings to spend your free hours on board the ship?
Basically,
and what are your limitations also?
Yeah, see, we have different depends on company to company, ship to ship. So we used to play like last time when we were there, like during our free time after dinner, like we used to play darts, carom board, TT,
indoor games.
Yes, indoor games only. And once in a while, like we play on deck, like VLCC, like we have a huge deck.
Big deck.
So we used to play cricket there, like we used to make balls and all, like ekda utkan galo, like we used to have many, we used to make those rubber balls actually with the good, I mean the rubber, we used to make it
just
round.
To keep yourself fit.
Yes,
and
yes. And
running
I
around.
like to go in the gym. So 4 o'clock, like I used to go to the gym and do some treadmill and all that.
I see.
I like to do it. In fact, I have my gym also here in Goa. I have in Vasco. So yes, and then later on, like after 8 o'clock, you just watch those serials, which is downloaded by somebody.
Okay.
Nowadays, like the internet is very fast.
Yes.
So we make one guy to night watch AB. So we used to make him download because that time everybody is sleeping and we have a good speed that time. So he used to download some Hindi
so
serials.
Next day you could watch it.
So or the latest movies, and then we used to watch them, like and plus cricket match and all that.
You need some diversion. You need some recreation.
Yes. Otherwise, life becomes boring on board.
Yeah.
As I said, like team, like and touchwood, like I always got a good team on board, like. So last few years, like before I left sailing, it was always mostly all Indians only.
I see.
Yeah, so I had good time.
Besides your professional attachments, what are your other interests? What are your hobbies in your personal life?
Personal life, actually I like to travel, as I said, like
Oh, you like to travel?
Yeah, in fact, like before COVID, we used to always have one foreign trip and one in India. So now also in the May month, like we went to Nepal, we went to then all this Char Dham, this this thing, Kedarnath and all that. So I mean yes, of course.
So you travel with your family?
Yes, I like to travel with my family. Yes.
You just spoke about COVID, pandemic. Have you any time been stranded for any such reasons, like?
As I said, like during that time I was working as a technical superintendent with UAE company, and it was work from home basically. So touchwood, like I was at home only during the peak time.
Peak of period.
Yes,
Yeah.
peak time I was at home. But after after somewhere in May 2021, like that, when the COVID, it subsided, like, so then, yes, of course, we traveled because we had to do the ship inspection and all. We cannot be, company was also like, pushing us to, because long time there was no inspection on board. Because as a technical superintendent, I'm supposed to go there on board at least once a year.
Okay.
Because I look after about 4 to 5 ships, and in that company I was looking after 12 ships actually.
I see.
So
Big number.
yeah. So we have to go and inspect the vessel. So as a superintendent, like, to see whatever, like,
Things are fine.
yeah. So that way, like, I mean, yes, of course, I went to this thing, Turkey, and there I had to be quarantined for 14 days before I could take up a dry dock. I was supposed to attend a dry dock there in Turkey. So 14 days I was in that, like, some
Quarantine.
quarantine, yeah. So it was very difficult actually. They used to just put the, morning breakfast in that,
Yeah.
pack this thing.
Okay, and just leave it there.
Just leave it there.
Till the time the lunch is served.
Yes.
And you're all by yourself.
All by-
Solitary confinement.
Yes. So
It was so bad.
it was, yeah, it was actually. Then I really felt very sorry for my fellow seafarers also, what they would have,
Gone through.
they could have gone through, like, during COVID.
Yeah, talking about your fellow seafarers, there's one general question that I would like to ask you. How do our, seafarers or sailors, when they're sailing, how do they overcome that long absence from their family members? How do they go through that stress level? Is it stressful for them?
See, basically,
There's a factor of emotionality involved over here, There will be some youngsters, there will be some people who are newly married, there will be people who has got parents at home who are going through
Right.
their old age.
Yes, actually,
How do they
here, like,
withstand
the-
this separation?
Yeah, basically, like, here the family plays a major role in this. Because what happens, nowadays communication is very easy. During our times, I'm like, in those days, like, where we used to write the letters
Yeah.
to the, I used to even write a letter to my wife. And then it came to the emails, like,
Correct.
once a week or twice a
Yes.
week. And after that, like, slowly things started improving. Now, like,
On your phone,
it is just one phone call away, like, WhatsApp call or whatever, like. So it has
So
come to
things
this
are
stage.
improving
Yes.
better
It
now.
has improved a lot. In fact, I have seen the stages, like, how it has improved. So here, like, why I'm saying is family plays a major role is, like, so when, like, when we are on ship, we don't have anything else there. So the small things, like, whatever is happening, sometimes the major thing is between the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law. Okay.
All these things, like, small things you should not mention. Like, or maybe small, like, where she can easily
Handle it
at
that
like,
level.
by herself, like,
You mean to say it should not be conveyed to you?
yeah, because what
Okay.
happens now, like, it is very easy, Acha, he's calling, okay, maka he zale tini neka he mutle te. You get tense there.
Yes.
Maybe things will get sorted out here in a own way, like, but then you get tense. Are bapre, ata maji bailani away zagatta, ata kide jatle, something like this. So, and that's why I said, like, sometimes you have to be emotionally strong and balanced also. You should know ki, okay, acha, okay, I couldn't give paje ganna ani, you have to
I think all this comes with your experience, am
Yes.
I right? That also plays a major part.
Yes.
Oh.
Like newly wedded and all, like, they will not have this. Like, they will get hyper.
Correct. Overexcited. Anyway, Surendra, आमचो वेळ सोंपत आयला. But one last question. आमचे जायते तरणाटे असतात गोंयकार. शिकलेले असतात, engineering करतात, दुसरे studies करतात. तांकां तुमचो advice कितें? Those who want to make a shipping as their career. Short and short advice to our youngsters especially. Tornate.
Hi. In fact, like, one of my nephew also, I just, made him join IMS. So yes, of course, it is a very good profession. And as I said, whatever I am today, it is because of shipping. So 100%, like, risk is there everywhere. Like, even while crossing the road, you are at risk. So, you have to, basically there is a risk assessment. So once you assess the risk, then things becomes easier. So people will, a lot of people leave shipping because they feel it is not, safe, this, that. But, you have to trust yourself first. Then, of course, God is there always protecting you. So all these things combined, like, you should not have any issues. I would say that shipping is the best career, I mean, one of the best career. Like, of course, you know, when you have the options, you have to choose between that. But shipping is also one of the best career. I would say. Yes.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Surendra.
you.
Thank you
Thanks.
for making your time and coming to the studios.
Thank you so much.
जें तुमी आयज आमकां सांगलां तें जायतेच म्हत्वाचें. So that was Surendra Naik, Chief Engineer, who has served for many years on the ship, and he's given some wonderful advice to our youngsters, to our youth, has explained what actually life is on board the ship and the responsibilities and the challenges they face day to day. And he says it's a beautiful career for someone to be a part of the maritime industry. Keep watching your favorite channel, the CCR TV channel. Thank you.